Whisper Softly ASMR. Hello, and welcome back to my channel. Unless you're new, then welcome to my channel. I am a whisper, 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 softly, softly, ASMR. And yes, welcome to my channel, our channel, whatever you want to make this is what it is. Yeah, I hope you guys are doing very well. I am good. I can't complain. Still quite tired, a little bit jet lagged from my trip to Vancouver. If you want to hear a little bit more about that was in the last video. So if you want to hear a little bit more about my trip to Vancouver and the little surprise that we did for my brother, you can check that video out. But yes, today we are going to do a facts video. And yeah, we're gonna do a facts video. They seem to be my most popular at the moment. Even when I didn't post for a couple of weeks, they were the ones that were continuously getting views. I know a lot of people like fact videos, as do I. I think they're very relaxing and fun to fall asleep to. But yeah, we're gonna do another fact video, and this time it is going to be another Marvel facts video. If you are wondering why I'm looking down here, it is because my tablet is here. So I'm using my tablet to get some facts for you guys. My tablet battery is really low as well, so hopefully that lasts for me. I just wanted to get a little bit more comfortable, even though this is not going right for me. Let's go. Number one. The people of Wakanda speak a real language. Wakanda's official language is a variant of Xhosa. I'm hoping I pronounced that right, which is primarily spoken in Zimbabwe and South Africa. Coincidentally, these locations are also close to where Wakanda is situated in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Number two. Those. Yeah. Marvel almost bought DC. During Marvel's boom in 1984, the head of Warner Communications Publishing approached former Marvel editor Jim Shooter for licensing the publishing rights to the entire DC comic universe. DC refused the offer and continued to publish comics. Later on, DC became a hit with readers as Marvel hit don't know why I'm speaking in Spanish. Anyway. It feels like there's something gone into my eye. Oh, okay. Number 3. Number 3. Shield began its operations in ancient Egypt. They began as the Brotherhood of the Shield. As time passed on, it began recruiting known figures in history, such as Leonardo da Vinci and Isaac Newton. This can be seen in Marvel's 2010 comic series, Shield. Number 4. Should I continue the Spanish thing? I don't know how to count to Spanish. I count to 50 in Spanish. I think I'd get to 10. I think I know 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. No. I only know until 7. Okay. Anyway. A character named number 4, A character named Jihad was introduced 11 days before the 9/11 attack. Jihad was introduced as a character bent on world destruction and conquest. However, due to the sensitivity after the historical event of 9/11, the character was then written off. Number 5. There is a frog with the power of Thor. This little amphibian is named Throg and wields the frog Mjolnir. I can't pronounce Thor's hammer's name. This frog also resembles the amphibian Thor himself once turned into. While Thor and Throg may have many similarities, they are said to be completely different beings. I am making myself tired here. Number 6. Dr. Doom briefly played the role of Iron Man. After Tony Stark incapacitates himself on an obligatory superpowered fight with Captain Marvel in Civil War II, Dr. Doom took on the role of Iron Man. Dr. Doom became known as the infamous Iron Man. Number 6, I think. These aren't numbered, so. The X-Men issue number 118 had the word sex hidden all over the contents of the comic. In Ethan Van Sciver's new X-Men issue, many readers noticed the word sex being hidden in the background art. After this information was leaked in a magazine, readers counted that the word could be found 18 times, which equates to almost 1 time per page. I've lost count of what number I'm on, so we're just gonna keep going. Michael Jackson once tried to buy Marvel Comics. During the early 90s, King of Pop, Michael Jackson, attempted to buy Marvel Comics. The reason? He wanted to star as Spider-Man in his version of the movie. Stan Lee once commented in an interview with Movie Phone that while he believed Jackson might have been a good actor for the role, Tobey Maguire was a better fit. The Marvel universe has a maintenance unit. This special unit is suitably called damage control. In the Marvel Comics universe, this group is a construction company that specializes in repairing property damage caused by conflicts made by heroes and villains. The group first appeared in Marvel Age Annual issue number 4. Deathstroke inspired the making of Deadpool. One of Marvel's most popular characters, Deadpool, was supposed to be a spoof of Slade Wilson's villainous identity, Deathstroke. Deadpool's secret identity, Wade Wilson, was an inside joke with Marvel staff to the two characters being related. As time went by, Deadpool's character was reimagined as a psychotic anti-hero. How's that for Marvel facts? I do love Deadpool. Samuel L. Jackson's appearance was used at Samuel L. Jackson's appearance was used as a design reference for the character Nick Fury. Before the films for the Marvel Cinematic Universe were made, Nick Fury's earliest concept art already had an uncanny resemblance to Samuel L. Jackson. When Samuel himself saw this resemblance, he immediately contacted his lawyers and Marvel Studios to secure his roles for the upcoming Marvel Cinematic films. 100% agree, and the best casting ever. A fan created Venom. When Marvel Comics hosted a contest in 1982 for aspiring artists, they were shocked by the entry submitted by Randy Schuler. He submitted a concept art for a storyline that involved Spider-Man upgrading his suit to all black for stealth purposes. After a few months, Schuler received a response from Marvel saying that they would buy the idea for $220 and a chance to script the new storyline that featured his designs. I feel like $220 is very little. The man deserves a little bit of a cut. The author of Godfather, once attempted to write for Marvel. Mario Puzo stated that writing comics was too difficult and instead asked Stan Lee if he could try to write scripts for comics instead. However, despite Stan Lee agreeing to this, Mario still was not able to do so. Puzo went on to write a few of the best-selling novels of all time. Definitely one of the more unexpected Marvel facts. There is a team of Avengers made up of animals. In 2009, Marvel pushed a 4-issue comic book limited series called Lockjaw and the Pet Avengers Unleashed. The team consisted of several animal companions related to superheroes in the Marvel comic universe. This team includes animal companions such as Lockjaw, Throg, Redwing, comic, he takes on the name of Power Man and takes on heroic jobs for a fee. Marvel was not allowed to use werewolves in their comics. Back then, the Comics Code Authority banned depictions of werewolves and vampires. As a result, Marvel had to find ways of getting around the rule, which proved to be difficult due to werewolves being a classic villain archetype. The auditory-tactile, I can't say that word, used in X-Men. I mentioned it in my last video about the pump that we have in our apartment, and it can be really annoying. So I hope you can't hear it, but I cut it out anyway, because then I went and whacked the mic, so there had to be a cut. The pterodactyl, I can't say that word, used in X-Men issue number 60, published in the year 1969, shows proof of this strange provision. There is an alternate version of Spider-Man where Peter Parker is an anthropomorphic pig. Instead of the famous Peter Parker, the hero for this world is Peter Porker, whose superhero identity is known as Spider-Ham. Spider-Ham was created by Tom DeFalco and Mark Armstrong in the year 1983. The comic book is made to be a funny parody of the Spider-Man comics published by Marvel. The original Captain Marvel died of cancer. Marvel was a minority of the blue-skinned Kree Empire who became a renowned soldier and an acclaimed hero through his victory in battles against the Skrulls. However, he got exposed to a nerve gas that caused him to develop cancer on Earth. He spent his last days alive on Saturn's moon, Titan, with his close friends and mentor on his deathbed. Amaglam Comics fuse heroes from both DC Comics and Marvel Comics together. Amaglam was known as a publishing imprint that was shared by both DC and Marvel Comics. In the fused publications, superheroes such as Batman and Wolverine were fused to make the character Dark Claw, and Superman and Captain America became Super Soldier. The publishing house was founded in 1996 and went defunct in 1997. Wolverine was supposed to be an actual Wolverine. Back in 1977, when the story group was brainstorming ideas for Wolverine's origins, one particularly strange idea was placed on the table. It was originally planned for the character to start as Wolverine, who would later mutate into a human being. However, after much debate and discussions, the idea was eventually scrapped and never used. Thor's line, "He's a friend from work," was not scripted in Thor Ragnarok. The line originated from a child from the Make-A-Wish Foundation who had suggested it to Chris Hemsworth during a break between filming. Since the director Taika, I've heard his name be pronounced, and I still can't pronounce it. That's like, I can't pronounce Szechuan. That's in Canada. Not even going to attempt it. There's just some words that no matter how much you tell me how to pronounce them, I cannot pronounce them. Taika Waititi encouraged its actors to improvise lines during filming, and Hemsworth gave it a try. As a result, the line became one of the best Marvel lines in history. Social media blew up during the release of the official Thor Ragnarok trailer, and it was all thanks to one child. Thor's former secret identity was Dr. Donald Blake. This man was created by Odin to be the host for Thor, to teach his son about the importance of humility. However, once he and Thor separated, Donald Blake gained life and sentience of his own. Marvel had several legal complications with Fox. One of the Marvel facts that'll make you realize how complicated the industry is. During the 90s, Marvel had to sell the rights to the X-Men characters and the Fantastic Four to avoid bankruptcy. As a result, various films in the Marvel Cinematic Universe had to rephrase several terms. An example would be changing the usage of the word mutant to metahuman or enhanced beings. The Men in Black is owned by Marvel. Originally owned by Malibu Comics, Marvel bought the rights for the Men in Black in 1994. This would mean that all films, shows, and video games have been produced by Marvel. Steve Rogers' catch-up list differs with each shooting location. In Captain America: The First Avengers, Steve Rogers' catch-up list contained several major pop culture references for whatever country the film was screening in at the time. In Australia, Steve's list included Steve Irwin, and for the United Kingdom, the 1966 World Cup final and the Beatles music. Kevin Feige created the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and we thank him to this day. Originally, Feige was hired to be an assistant on the first X-Men film. However, he was given an associate producer credit when another producer had discovered that he was a human Marvel encyclopedia. Later on, Feige became the president of Marvel Studios, and he's amazing. We love Kevin Feige. Carol Danvers' former code name was Binary. Carol Danvers was given the new code name after being exposed to new cosmic level energy power in Uncanny X-Men issue number 164, published in 1982. However, she only kept this name for a short time as her powers eventually returned to that of when she was Miss Marvel. This led her to change her code name again to Warbird, before eventually coming to be known as Captain Marvel. I know people are going to argue with me that it's Captain Marvel, but literally in the movie, it is Marvel. So, I'm not arguing, even though I haven't seen the new one yet. I will. I feel like at one point, the Marvel Cinematic Universe became so saturated, they were just spitting out casting as Spider-Man before he did. Holland stated in an interview with Ellen DeGeneres that he had been auditioning for the role for nearly 5 months. During his last audition, he was told that they would reveal the final cast the next day. However, 6 weeks passed and he had not been contacted yet until he discovered the casting online. I would say it was in his junk mail, more than likely. No way would they do that. The next fact. The richest Marvel superhero is Thor. Not only is Thor of royalty, but he is also a god. His family owns several vaults filled with treasures and statues collected from several worlds. Moreover, he also holds a prestigious status that far surpasses that of T'Challa's. Asgardians are also considered to be highly advanced aliens and be wealthy enough to consider gold as something cheap. Black Widow is older than she appears to be. While the Marvel Cinematic Universe continues to be vague regarding Natasha Romanoff's age, there are a few hints that show she may be well past her 30s. However, in the comics, thanks to the various medical treatments and technology, have allowed her to live for decades. In the comics, she is said to be well over 70 years of age already. Peggy Carter had an unscripted scene in the first Avenger that made it to the final cut. During the scene where Captain America steps out of the chamber that turned him superhuman, Peggy Carter examines a shirtless Steve Rogers with her hands. Because of how spontaneous this scene flowed together, it was kept for the authenticity. Robert Downey Jr. was nearly rejected for the role of Iron Man, if not for Jon Favreau insisting that Robert Downey Jr. should play the role of Iron Man. Downey would have not been so lucky. Marvel producers initially saw Downey's alcoholic habits as a red flag and believed that he would not be suitable for the role. The helicarrier that Deadpool and Ajax fought on is a nod to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. By the end of the Deadpool movie, the two characters are seen battling on top of a disassembled helicarrier that looks similar to the ones used by the organization S.H.I.E.L.D. However, after seeing this, Fox advised Marvel to make the aircraft look a bit different to avoid any lawsuits that might come from Disney. The word zombies was trademarked by Marvel Studios. During the year 1973, Marvel Comics published a comic book called Tale of the Zombie. For some time, Marvel trademarked the term zombie for the use in their comic books. However, in 1996, they let go of the trademark after realizing it was nearly impossible to enforce it on this particular term. Groot's lines were recorded several times by Vin Diesel himself. Vin Diesel also recorded himself saying the lines in several other languages multiple times. He also voiced Baby Groot's voice all by himself and without any additional effects on his voice. it was on one of those talk shows where he does the voice in like different languages and does the baby group voice. It's actually really interesting to watch. I decided to like handle the mic because I was getting a little bit uncomfortable and my back was starting to kill me. So, but yes, on to the next fact. The one above all is considered to have the most powerful powers in the Marvel universe. There is a hair on my mic. So annoying. Anyway, one above all is an all-knowing, all-powerful entity. When interacting with others, this hero takes on the form of Jack Kirby. One above all is also said to be the creator of the multiverse. Quicksilver once challenged the Flash to a race. In many issues of the JLA/Avengers crossover comics, the Flash and Quicksilver race against each other multiple times. However, Flash's victories were only dependent on the fact that he had used the Speed Force when able. During the instances where he was not able to do so, Quicksilver took a simple victory over the red-suited hero. The X-Men were labeled as mutants rather than humans to avoid legal issues. In 1994, importing human figures and toys into the United States became more expensive than non-human figures. To get around this, Marvel found a loophole. The action figures made in China were labeled as mutants to avoid the extra costs. Much of Marvel's superheroes are of Irish descent. My fringe is annoying me. Sorry. Gotta make myself look good, you know. A few heroes to name include Captain America, the Beast, Iceman, Daredevil, Bullseye, and one of Ant-Man's incarnations. Baby Groot's dance number took 2 years to conceptualize. The dance that Baby Groot executes to Electric Light Orchestra's hit Mr. Blue Sky took 2 years to plan and create. This large project that took 2 years for the Guardians of the Galaxy 2 team to make with James Gunn paid off in the end, as it was one of the most well-received scenes in the movie. I would agree with that. The Wasp was nearly cast to be in the movie Avengers Assemble. During the earlier drafts of the film, Henry Pym's wife Janet was originally set to appear as the Wasp. However, Black Widow was instead chosen to fill the role of the last Avenger, as she was already previously introduced in Iron Man 2. This change was made to reduce the clutter in storytelling throughout the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Robert Downey Jr. and Marissa Tomei personally knew each other before Spider-Man Homecoming. The two got to know each other during the 1994 film Only You, which later led to a developing romantic relationship. Eventually, the two broke up on good terms. When Robert Downey Jr. heard that they were looking for for someone to fill in the role for Aunt May in Spider-Man Homecoming. He immediately recommended his old friend Marissa Tomei for the role. She was a really good Aunt May as well. Bruce Banner is called by a different name in the Hulk TV series. Instead of being known as Bruce Banner, the television series renamed Bruce to David Banner. According to Stan Lee in an interview, the producers had insisted on changing Hulk's secret identity. This was mainly because the producer believed that the name Bruce was considered to have homosexual connotations, despite Stan Lee arguing against it. I don't get that one. In 1997, Marvel and DC created a Captain America Batman special. The plot centers around the Red Skull hiring the Joker to steal an atomic bomb during World War II. However, the Joker is then later horrified to find out that the Skull is a Nazi. The two villains engage in a fight before Batman and Captain America could arrive. Originally, the Hulk had grey skin. When the Hulk was first introduced in the comics, he was green-skinned due to a printing error. With the 4-color printing process, each time an issue of The Incredible Hulk was printed, it would be in different shades of grey each time. He wouldn't have looked right. Grey. And I have just gone out of the website that I was using. And now I need to find where I was. Okay, I think I found it. Yeah, okay. Stan Lee took inspiration for the creation of Galactus and the Silver Surfer from the Bible. In the Marvel comics, God inspired the creation of Galactus, and from Satan came the Silver Surfer. I have to leave in like an hour. I have some stuff to do, and it's already starting to get dark. But I need to meet my mom when she finishes work, because she is going to my nanny's for the weekend. She always goes up to my nanny to look after her. So I need to meet her when she's finished work. And just do a few bits, so... yeah, like next weekend is Christmas. What the hell? It's crazy. Okay, next fact. I'm kind of hoping I can get to the end of this thing, but there's 150 facts, and I feel like that is going to take me a long time to do, so I don't know if I'll get to the end, but I will keep going until I genuinely have to go, so I might keep going for another 30 minutes or so. Okay, next fact. Marvel could have died out 4 years before its first comic was even published. In 1937, their creator, Martin Goodman, was in the middle of preparation to return to America from a honeymoon. However, he booked his tickets a little too slow and missed a flight on the Hindenburg. Luckily, because of this, Goodman avoided the famed disaster and went on to continue working on building his company. I'm very confused. Maybe it's because I don't know what the Hindenburg is. I'll have to Google that later. Okay. Marvel had a series called What If? This series focuses on exploring how the Marvel Universe might have unfolded if a few key moments in history turned out differently. Since the 1970s, the series had several publications, including standalone issues. I tried to get into the TV series of What What If on Disney, but like I couldn't. I think I made it to like episode 3 and I couldn't get into it at all. Okay, next fact. The Pentagon stopped helping Marvel Studios with the Avengers because it was unrealistic. Apart from being unrealistic, Pentagon also did not wish to have to answer to organizations such as S.H.I.E.L.D. This is one of my favorite facts ever. Tom Holland was not given complete access to the Infinity War script. The young actor is known for accidentally spoiling plots during interviews and on his social media accounts. As a safety precaution, he was given as little information as possible regarding the plans for Infinity War and its script. That's one of my favorite facts. Good old Tom Holland. Okay. Jean Grey has died around 14 times in Marvel's Earth 616 continuity. My brain is not with it today. Jean Grey is no 80s song, but she's known for staying alive. The X-Men has died and resurrected several times already in the Marvel Earth 616 universe. Her main deaths involve losing control over the Phoenix Force several times and triggering the Dark Phoenix. However, the Phoenix Force is also what continuously resurrected her and what causes her to regain control of her powers. Deadpool and Thanos were once in a love triangle with Lady Death. The Mad Titan and Deadpool were both infatuated with the female personification of death. However, in the end, Thanos won her over and has a child with her. Thanos also cursed Wade Wilson with immortality, thus preventing him from ever truly dying and being with his love. There was also a little Easter egg of this storyline in Deadpool 2. Jeremy Renner trained with Olympic archers to prepare for the role of Hawkeye. Jeremy Renner only had a few months to prepare for his role. As a result, he had to hire professionals. He trained heavily with Olympic archers to understand and master the bow and arrow. George R.R. Martin was an avid fan of the Marvel comics. George R.R. Martin is known for being the man who reinvented the fantasy genre into something more enjoyable than anything it was before. What many people didn't know was that he was also a huge fan of Marvel and its work. He would often write to Marvel's letter columns during the 60s. One storyline shows Deadpool killing the entire Marvel universe. The story shows the X-Men taking Deadpool to a mental hospital for therapy. However, the doctor treating him turns out to be Psycho Man in disguise, attempting to hypnotize Deadpool into becoming his slave. This fails, believes Deadpool even more mentally unstable, and leads on a murderous rampage, killing all heroes and villains. The story ends with him breaking into the real world and confronting the Marvel writers who are currently working on the story. The Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters has a long history of being blown up. It has a long-running joke It has been a long-running joke in X-Men that the school is regularly destroyed. In the span of its history, it has been attacked by Juggernaut, the Skrulls, Onslaught, and Phalanx, and several other villains. In many adaptations, I've got 7 left. So, a Marvel superhero called Mr. Immortal has no other superpower other than immortality. In the comics, he has been seen being killed off in many different ways. However, due to his immortality, he cannot die. The events in the films of Thor, Iron Man 2, and The Incredible Hulk all occur within a week. These events also collectively refer to Nick Fury's Big Week. This series was also published as a limited series comic book entitled Marvel's The Avengers Prelude, Fury's Big Week. Marvel Comics Doctor Doom inspired the character of Darth Vader. During the making of the early Star Wars franchise, George Lucas took great inspiration from the comics that Marvel had been publishing at the time. The inspiration behind the making of the Darth Vader's character was none other than arch enemy of the Fantastic Four, Doctor Doom. The Hulk, reproduced with She-Hulk in Mark Millar's Old Man Logan series. She-Hulk gives birth to a hillbilly clan of strong yet dim-witted children. The Hulks were later on called the Hulk Gang. Marvel beat DC to the name rights of Captain Marvel. When Marvel had learned that DC was planning on bringing back Fawcett's Captain Marvel from the 40s, they beat them ahead of publication so that DC would not be able to use the name due to copyright. However, because of this, Marvel is now legally obligated to keep printing Captain Marvel stories or risk losing the right to use the name. Mary Jane Watson once got cancer from Peter Parker's radioactive semen. This is... okay, anyway. In Spider-Man Reign, Peter Parker's love interest, Mary Jane, is revealed to have passed away. She died from cancer, which resulted from several occasions of her and Peter continuously having unprotected sex. Spider-Man Reign is set 30 years into the future, where Peter and Mary Jane were already married. Okay, and to end, this is the last fact. Stan Lee once posed in the nude for an interview. We're finishing off strong. For an interview that talked about the Marvel offices behind the scenes, Stan Lee once bared it all. Marvel prevented this photo from coming out and was not released until 29 years later. The photo shows Stan Lee sitting on his side on a long couch in the nude with only his privates covered up by a single book. Got on you, man. So that is all that I'm going to have time for today because I have to head out. But thank you so much for watching. I know my fact videos are quite popular, so I say popular and like not like they're getting millions of views, but But if you're asleep, even better again. Sometimes I watch ASMR videos just to like cool my head mid